Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the morning pre-market analysis and trade plan setup for Wednesday, May the 14th, 2014. My name is Doug McKay. I am the founder and head moderator of Quantum Leap. Quantum Leap is a private organization. We are a self-organized learning environment. We have a private Skype room, soon to be moved to the new stealthtrader.com website. And we've been in existence for coming up on 5 years now. And each day we come together in a private Skype room and talk about the market, talk about trading, and then each morning we come together and do our pre-market routine, preparing ourselves for trading and setting up our levels and targets for the day. If you are joining us for the first time, you can give me a contact request to Doug_McKay. I'll be the one from Windsor, Ontario, Canada, soon to be from Toronto, Ontario, Canada, or send me an email to my email at d.mckay@stealthtrader.com. Now, each morning we go through a macro to the micro. We look at the key numbers and we look at the trend in the different time frames. And this is a routine we go through every morning. So if you're watching this on YouTube after the fact, you might want to skip ahead a few minutes until we get into some more in-depth chart analysis and getting into setting up our levels for the day. But as always, before we get going, I've got to get the legals out of the way, so let me do that. This information is for the purpose of educating members who want to expand the knowledge of the business of trading. It's not for trading or investment advice. You and only you are responsible for the trades or investment decisions you make. Trading futures or any instrument involves the risk of loss. Please consider carefully whether futures or options are appropriate to your financial situation. Only risk capital should be used when trading futures or options. Investors could lose more than initial investment. Nobody at Quantum Leap is a certified trading advisor. We are retail traders operating within a self-organized learning environment. Past performance is not indicative of future results, and any trades that you see in Quantum Leap are for education purposes only. Please trade your own plan and do your own due diligence. Okay, so that's out of the way. Let's jump right over to the homework sheet and take a look at where we're at. Just let me see where we're trading. We are currently trading at 91. Okay, so we went up obviously yesterday and we made a new high of the year at 1198.50. We did not get to that 1900. We did find some balance around 94. And I want to talk about that and what that means to me and what my hypotheses are. But let me get through the numbers first. Of course, we are in a bull year again because we're above the year open at 1837.75, above the month open at 79.50, and basically above the previous month high and all the other monthly numbers. So let's go right down to the intraday. Yesterday in the Globex, we opened at 1893.50, had a high at 96.75. Remember, I mentioned this in the video yesterday that the RTH session does not like to leave and let the Globex put in an all-time high, and that we are likely to go break that 1896.75. That was my main target above, and we went up and broke it and put in a new all-time high in the RTH session. Our Globex low was 92.25, which was above, or just one tick below, I should say, that previous all-time high at 92.50. And then we opened the RTH session outside of range at 1894.25. Now, Howard put down an open auction out of range. You could also, say that it was an open test drive, but it was an open auction out of range, and it had a bit of a drive to it as well. We broke the IB to the upside and to the downside, creating a neutral day, and then our opening swing high was 95, opening swing low for a 2-point opening swing. Actually, I thought I had 95.25 on mine, but we'll go check that when we look at the chart itself. Initial balance high 97.50, initial balance low 92.75 for a 4 3/4 point initial balance. Anytime you get a small IB, that is an indication that you're likely to get a neutral day, which we did get because you can test both sides of that small IB. The average size of an initial balance is between 6 and 9. Lately, we've been getting these huge IBs. All the intraday numbers yesterday were higher. We had a higher 1230 number 94.75, the all-time high 98.50, RTH low 92, our close at 94.25, and our VPOC at 94.25. We keep seeing that 94, okay, 94, 94.25 number popping up all over the place, and it's going to be a key number for us. Our full session, our 20-day ATR targets are continuing to constrict. Again, this breakout I don't think is done. The ranges are constricting and we're coiling and we're going to get a big breakout, and it may still be to the downside. We don't know for sure, but all I know is we're not sticking in this area for very much longer, in my opinion. So our 20-day ATRs are running 14, just under 14.25 on the RTH, 16 on the full session, and the Globex is just over 8. Our value area high and low were higher at 95.75 and 93.25, and we did break the IV. We did a make and break, which I called out in the room to look for. We broke the IV right 1 minute after it got set. And then, of course, later we went down and broke the low as well. But we did this all again on this really, really weak volume. We had the big breakout day and on very small volume, and then we consolidated on very low volume too. So this is suspect in terms of this breakout to the upside. We're not getting the OTF participating in this breakout. Currently, our full session low is running at 90.50 and our high at 97.25. Full session ATR target to the upside is 1906.50 and to the low is 1881.25. 81.25, remember, is the microcomposite VPOC where they tried to hold value when we went and put up that last all-time high at 92.50. So that's an interesting number down there for a 20-day ATR target. Going down to look at the news, we had PPI and core PPI. Really didn't get much of a move off of it, and we really don't have any other news until 9:30 Central for crude oil inventories. So let's take a look at I just wanted to see what we've got left in naked crosses above us. See, we really only have that one on the 5-minute at 96.25. Everything else, all the other naked crosses have been taken care of to the upside. So that tells me that we didn't leave any unauctioned territory up here yet, which again, based on the low volume and fact that we don't have any targets above us, makes it suspect on this breakout. But I'm not counting out the 1900s yet. So let's take a look at the macro to the micro trend. The monthly, we're trading above the prior month high, and we've got great slope and separation on the 9 EMA and the 20 SMA. The trend is very much intact on the monthly. Same thing on the weekly. After coming down and having our first close below the 20 SMA, we popped up, and now we're running strong. We've got good slope and separation to the upside on the weekly. On the daily, we've got this technical gap that has been created, on the daily. So we moved away from the 9 EMA too far. We don't have a Mr. Sneaky. We put in the new high, but we're likely to go sideways or come down a bit to close this technical gap before we make another move upward. Taking a look at the geometric chart, we've got 3 forks that I've got on here right now. I just put this fork in here. I'm not real keen on it yet, but it does give us an energy point here at 1885. That looks like it's going to be due on the 20th of the month. But currently, the only information this is really giving me right now, because as Melissa said yesterday, the geometric chart just not giving us very good information right now in terms of the forks. But what I'm looking at is the center line of this shorter term upward sloping fork. A retest down to that line today will bring us down into that 1881.50 area, and that's right where that 20-day ATR target is to the downside. If we break out of this new downward sloping fork, we still have a possibility of coming up and testing the center line of the longer term fork, and a test up to there today, to test that line, will take us up to 1924. And I think Murad's got a measured move up there at somewhere around 1933, actually. I think that would be the test of the upper line of this shorter term upward sloping fork. But really, there's not a lot of information that that's giving us. So let's take a look at the trends coming into the RTH session intraday. This is a perfect example of a technical gap getting closed through time. And we broke out on the 4-hour, created the technical gap, and we kind of went sideways and a little bit down in price to close the gap. We're currently below the 9 EMA. I'd be looking to come down and close the gap against the 20 here. No real trend, to speak of it. We were trending strong, and then we've got a break below, so we've got the trend weakening on the 4-hour. On the 30-minute, different story. We have a trend coming in on the 30-minute. We did have a naked cross, but we went up and took out that naked cross on this candle right here. We're currently below the 9 and the 20, and we've got slope and separation to the downside, so the trend on the 30-minute is down. On the 5-minute, we did have a fairly strong downtrend, and then we popped up and we're consolidating, so no real information on the 5-minute. So let's go take a look at the composite chart. So we consolidated in this area, and the major microcomposite goes all the way back to that February 21st, and the balance of that microcomposite, the microcomposite VPOC, is at 1864.75. 1864.75 is also the composite VPOC, or the most accepted price going back to October the 9th, 2013. Then we come up, and in the last part of this longer term balance, we come back up here and we accept value around the 75. And then they come up and they keep hitting that 1881.50 area, but the sellers kept on stepping in to hold us down inside of this value area on these three tests of that 81.50. The sellers just stepped in and said, not yet, brought us back down into this balance zone. Then we get our breakout day, and we have a nice move up. We take out that that all-time high at 92.50, and we take out the the Globex high, and then now in the last 2 days, we're finding and we're trying to hold value up here at 1894. There's that 1894 level. But we've got some weakness, and we're testing the lower side of balance, down here at the CLVN at 1890.75, with the value area low for the 2-day microcomposite down here at 88.75. So if we break below this 1890.75, look for a move down to test 88.75, and if we break, then we're going to test the range high from the microposit that we just broke out of in the CLVN at 1886. Below 1886, then I think we're going to move down this time to test the 81.50 to see if buyers will step in. And if we get below 86.75, my main target below is going to be this 81.50 again, with the other side of balance and the value area high from the microcomposite that we just broke out of down here at the 79.75. And below 79.75, everything shifts down to coming and testing the naked microcomposite composite VPOC here at 1875, and then the 7250 area again. If we hold above 1890, I think that we rotate back up towards 94.25 and test the value area high up here at 97.75, and possibly go and test the 1900s for the first time. So let's go and take a look at what we've done overnight. And move it over to our intraday chart. So our current overnight high is 97.25, which is just one tick below the IB high from yesterday, and our current low is 90.50. We could put in a lower low before the RTH opens, but I'm going to put it in here. Just got a VPOC shift here down to 91, so it looks like the buyers are stepping in here to try to hold us inside of this balance zone. And then we've got that shift, and the overnight VPOC shifted now to 91. Howard, if you can do me a favor and just do a full download to make sure that this shift is valid. I want to make sure that that is the case. I don't have time to do a download while I'm in here doing this. Come on, just bringing this up so we can put the levels on the chart. So currently right now, if we open up, we're going to open up outside of balance, outside of range, and outside of value. So the first thing, you get an open auction out of range. First thing you want to watch for is responsive sellers stepping in. When we're above range and above value, you're looking for initiative buyers to step in. But in this case is a good example. The last few days we've been getting those open auctions out of range above value. This time it's going to be below value. So I'll be looking for initiative sellers to step in here and take us down to take out the overnight low and test this 1890.75 CLVN. So I really can't do anything in between here until I get down here and either break the 90.50 and continue lower down towards this naked VPOC at 89.25, or wait to come up and test the range low at 92. So 92 is going to be an area that I would use to trade off of, and I would trade it in two ways. If we come up and we get inside and we break above 92, I'd be looking for a continuation inside of range to test the value area at 93.25, and that will be my first target above, and I'll front run it right at 93. Give me time to get in and get funded, and then above that 93.25, the big number above us and the main target above us right now is this 94.25. You've got the naked VPOC, you've got the naked close, you've got the microcomposite VPOC, and the CHVN. So that is our main target above. And I'm just going to front run it here at 94 so we can put the label on. Okay, and then just bring this to the front. And above that, look for continuation to test the value area high here at 95.75 and complete the 80% rule. Remember, if we get inside of value and we hold inside there for two TPO counts, we're likely to come up, and you've got an 80% probability of coming up and testing the value area high. At this point in time, if we break above the value area high, I'd be looking for a move to take out the overnight high and, of course, the main target above, which will be above value, which will be the all-time high at 98.50. And basically, I would take the breakout of value and use 97.25 as a target. But if we break outside of this this 98.50, you can take another trade here and take it into the 1900 because I think we'll see 1900. Target above 1900 is 1902. Then we've got our ATR target at 0650. And then, of course, the rule of 10. Actually, you know what I can do? I can do this. Move this down rather than relabeling it. And the rule of 10, which will be a trade area and a target at 1910. Further continuation below 90.50, okay, is a move down to take out the naked VPOC at 89 and the other side of value and test that range high from the microcomposite that we just broke out of down here at 86.50. Sorry, 86.75. And then below 86.75, there really isn't anything down here, okay, until 81 and a quarter. And 81 and a quarter is going to be my main target outside of value and below range. Oh, come on, I can spell. And then other side of that is the 79.75. Come on. And below 79.75. The major target below is down here at 75. You've got naked close, naked VPOC at 74, the microcomposite at 75, and I'd front run the 74s and use the 75. And then below that, and I don't think we're going to get to it. You got 72.50, and then you've got all those key areas that we we looked at. I don't know why this is labeled wrong. And of course, we get below that 68 and a quarter, and everything shifts down. And that to me is going to be a great short when we break 68 to the low side again, and just load up. And why didn't it? Sorry. I would load up on the shorts there below 68 and a quarter because that's going to be a nice move down to 64.75 when we get there. Don't think it's going to happen today. So we're gonna be we've moved up a little bit higher, and we're testing coming up and testing this this range. If they reject that 92, get short into taking out the overnight low and the overnight VPOC at 91. But if they accept range, look for them to move up and test the value area low at 93 and a quarter, and just make sure you get front run just in front of it. Let's take a look at the Keltner. My screen is not very responsive to me this morning. All right, so on the Keltner, look at this. How much do you love that? A retest of the Keltner center line is going to give you 94 and a quarter. There's that 94 and again. A test of the lower side of the Keltner, the lower line of the Keltner, is likely going to be 89 and a quarter when we get there. Above the Keltner center line, a test to the upper Keltner line gives us our test of 1900. All right, so now let's take a look at this gold pattern, because everybody that's in the Quantum Leap room knows that I built a swing position in gold, and I want to take a look at where we can look to do some adds. So we had a beautiful move up, and Sri, we should have added to that gold position when you were talking about it at 94. But what was the low yesterday? low was 9160, so you wouldn't have even had to take that much heat. And we had probably put it in that 9150 ahead of time. Oh well. But anyway, a lot of people are saying short gold right now. I say don't short gold. I say build a position to the long side. And the reason I say that is because we have a descending broadening wedge with the breakout, and then you've got a beautiful cup and handle that's been validated down here. And you know, if we break, if we hold now above this 1300, you know, the next level that we should see is that 1350 or 1315 is my target, really, because remember that 1315 was the target that we had when we did the breakout of the descending broadening wedge. Above 1315, your next target's all the way up at 31, and then I think we're going to see some strength. And if gold gets up into the 1331 area, I think the ES and the indices are going to be on their way down. And the rim of the right rim of that cup and handle is all the way up at 1400. And if we break that 1400, we've got a long-term measured move all the way up to 1600 on gold. And that's why I'm building a position and have been building a position in gold. And right now I'm running a stop at 1275 and a quarter, I believe it is. And I've been building my position and building my Theo, but I've locked in profit even if it goes down and takes me out. But I will continue to look for areas to add on to my gold position. Let's just take a look at what that looks like on the composite. How am I doing for time here? 9:12, not bad. Okay. Gold comp. There we go. And we can add these 2 days into the longer term and this into the shorter term. So currently, we've got balance below us here in the 1292, 1290 level. But remember, we were talking about if we broke above this 1304 area, we're breaking outside of value. So the value area high is 130260 in this balance area, and that we'd likely come up to this 130770 area. We did that yesterday, and we're coming back down and testing this 1304 CLVN. If we hold 1304, look for a rotation back up to that 07, then 09, and then the big number above us is the 1315. See how these numbers keep playing out over and over? And then if we accept, once we get into this area up here around 1315, we've got a pretty blunt area in the distribution of the composite. And this composite goes back all the way to 2008, and we've got a lot of undetermined fair value here. So I think we're going to fight to break out of the range high at 1518 and just sort of chop around here where we tried to hold value before at 1318 with tests of 2360 and possibly back up to that 31. Remember, that swing high at 3140 is the next target above 1315 on the cup and handle formation. Let's just take a quick look at Russell. So currently right now on the Russell we have the overnight low. I don't know if it's gone down and put in a lower low, but it's 1375 area, 1370 I think it is. I've got 1370 written down in my journal. Value area low is at 1770, and you can see that that 1770 is the key CLVN below the microcomposite VPOC and the composite VPOC at 1121. You can see that all the indices on that, using that October swing low, all the indices composite VPOCs has shifted up, and we had the shift on the ES up to 64 and 1864, and we had the TF come up to shift to 1121. So above 1117, we're going to get inside of yesterday's value, take out the naked close, and get inside of range and value You've got the overnight high at 1120 and the naked VPOC at 1121 with the microcomposite VPOC and the composite to act as a major magnet. So I think if you accept value and accept range, you have to look for a move up to this 1121.33. If we come up and reject off of the 1760, okay, we're gonna, we've got two possibilities here. We can come up and close the gap and test the value in the range low, or we can see initiative sellers stepping in and just taking us down and testing that 1375 overnight low, and we've got a 1350 CHVN. But this area is pretty blunt, so I think we're going to see some rotations today on the Russell. And if we fail to get back inside of range and above that CLVN at 17, I'm looking for a push through to 13 and test to the other side of value down here at 1109. You've got the CLVN at 1109. It's the range low from the prior day, and it's also the value area low of the microcomposite that we're currently trading inside of its value. So I'll be looking for a test of 1109. Below 1109, you've got 1106.30, and then you're outside of value, okay, and coming down to test where we found buyers down here with the value area high being 1104, which is just above this 1103. So it's 1103 that I'm really looking at where they'll come down and test. And below 1103, everything shifts back to that number we were talking about last week at 1096, which is where they accepted value before making a move back up into this upper distribution around 1121. So that's what I'm looking at on the Russell. Basically, that's going to complete our morning homework session. Again, we're going to open up just slightly out of value and outside of range, so you got to be careful on this open. If you see initiative seller stepping in and we get a move down to take out this 90.50, don't try to fade it. I mean, I tried to fade it the other day on Monday to the upside on that open drive, and it put me behind the 8 ball, and I had to work my way back into a green position on the day. So as always, trade well, trade safe, and we will catch you on the flip side. All right, so I just closed the